What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you a battle, a big battle, and it's not one on the court, but it's one off the court, and it's brewing, and it could be one of the best ever. And that's a battle between the two debate kings, Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, former host, co-host together on the epic First Take. Back in the day, the war of words has just started. Skip Bayless released this morning a video on his YouTube channel responding to Stephen A's comments on the Redick podcast. He had an interview there, I believe, late last week. And it's kind of funny. I'm not going to go into details of Skip's points, of his rebuttals to what Stephen A. Smith said, because you can watch it on his video. He says it better than what I can. But the thing is that Stephen A. Smith basically said, and he said this before, honestly. So I'm surprised it kind of got to Skip now. I guess Redick, might be a bigger podcast. But I watched Stephen A. Smith interview over the last couple years on different sports programs. And he said similar things, to what he said at Redick's podcast. But basically, what got Skip and some former ESPN friends in a frenzy from what Stephen A. said was basically that he helped save First Take. He came in on First Take, I believe, 2012, and he says that Skip came to him in a parking lot of ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut, and he basically flat out said, I need your help. I need you. I've taken First Take as far as I can go. I need your help. I know you like traveling and being a reporter and being at the games, but I need your help. They were good friends, but before First Take. And Stephen A. said he took a couple days off and a couple days to think about it, excuse me. And he came back, said yes. And then from that point on, they've been number one ever since, But and that got Skip hot. And that got him hot. But the funny thing is, as I said, I've seen Stephen say that on multiple interviews. He did the Pivots podcast with Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor. He did that a couple months ago, about a month ago now, 2 months ago maybe. Said the same thing. He's been on the Breakfast Club multiple times. Said the same thing. He's been on Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's show. Forgot what it's called, but he's been there saying similar things. So, I've seen multiple interviews of him saying the same thing. So it's funny how it get back to him now. But yeah, Skip was hot. Skip didn't like it. He didn't appreciate it. And he came with his rebuttals, And I'll give you one or two here, but the rest you can watch his podcast. It's an hour's change long, or barely an hour long, so you can watch that and hear what Skip says from his mouth. But basically, he said, that's not true. That's not true. He's upset. His wife is upset. Some ESPN people are upset at what Skip said, what Stephen A. Smith said. And he says, Skip says the revenue and everything that Stephen A. said Skip said was the problem, or what was low. Ratings, revenue, audience, all that stuff, whatever it was, everything was good. It was the best ESPN had ever seen, in the debate genre. And certain numbers they hit before Stephen A. Smith came, they didn't rise up higher than when Stephen A. Smith, actually came on the show. Like, for example, he said First Take pre Stephen A. Smith had the best rating, or came close to touching NFL Network or NFL Daily, whatever it was show called at the time. And when Stephen A. Smith came, it never really got to that point ever again. So that was pre-Stephen A. Smith on how the ratings were at certain moments, certain points in time. So, and Skip went on a good rebuttal, and he said himself to start off, he hate doing this, but and they are friends. They are like brothers. He said himself, Stephen A. has treated him more of a brother than his actual brother has. If you don't know, Skip has a brother, I believe is a professional chef or something in the food industry, pretty big time guy. And, if you do know Skip's backstory, he's not really friendly with his family too much. As he said himself, you can probably YouTube it and see more about his family history, which he's openly said before plenty of times. But yeah, I think it could go down, man. I think Stephen won't hold his words back. And also the drama brings attention. The drama brings ratings. I'm sure this isn't fake because, like I said, Stephen A's been saying this for a while now. But drama does bring ratings, and the to see former co-hosts, to see two of the big, well, not two of the two biggest debate kings ever, Skip and Steven, who people still clamor to this day to come back together and do First Take or do something together, which probably will never happen. I doubt it. They're separate ways. I think they're going to stay that way. I think Stephen A. just renewed his contract, and Skip, I believe, on his last year of his deal with Undisputed, but probably will resign. He's the best show on TV there, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I hope it stays respectful. I hope it doesn't go too far. And my thing, I'm only 26 years old. When I seen First Take for the first time, I never forget this. It was, when was it? It was the year Michael Vick. It was the day of, actually, Michael Vick got charged with, caught with the dog fighting thing. He got arrested. And that's my first time ever seeing it. I'm a Michael Vick stan to this day. I love Michael Vick. I'm from Virginia, a couple cities over from where he's from where Allen Iverson's from. So I'm a stan of those two guys. But Vic, my favorite football player of all time. I'm a Falcons fan still to this day because of Vic. And my first time seeing First Take was that day when the announcement happened, or day after, something like that. And it was the two Stooges, the two black guys. I forgot their names. Doug and something Stooge, or whatever the show was that they had, whatever. I haven't seen them in a long time since then, actually. But they were debating Skip, and I was like, man. And this is me talking. Well, I was in middle school then, because I met Vic. If Vic went to jail for a year and change, I was in 6th grade, because I actually seen Vic. I met Mike Tomlin at the Newport News camp, a city in Virginia, where they're from. I met Michael Vick like the week he was released from prison. I met him that week at that camp. I met Mike Tomlin. The Steelers just won the Super Bowl. I saw the ring up close. It was crazy. Super big ring. Met a couple other guys as well. But yeah, Vic must have been arrested in 6th grade when I was in 6th grade, maybe 7th, and got out my 8th grade year because it was a camp, and I was going to 8th grade. I remember that. So at that time, I was 12, 13, but my thinking was when I saw Skip, he's racist and he's not being fair to Vic. But like I said, I was young, 13 years old, 12 years old, and I'm a Vic stan. So, I didn't know no better back then. But from that point on, I watched the show every day. And then when Stephen A. Smith came, I do agree personally. I've seen comments under Skip's video about people saying, I don't know anybody. A person said this, not me, but I do agree with it though. A commenter on the Skip's video said, I personally don't know anyone who cared about First Take before Stephen A. And it might just be my age group. As I said back then, I was in middle school when Stephen A. came, 2012. If Stephen A's first year was 2011, 2012, I was a sophomore in high school. And from that point on, to me and my friends and all my peers that I know of, I speak to, First Take has been booming since. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it. I don't have a real dog in the fight. I hope it don't get too serious, but I hope they do have a war of words. Because both can use ratings. Who can't use the ratings? And it'll be a fun back and forth. Stephen A. has his own show. Skip has his podcast now. So, long as they stay respectful, long as they keep it clean, hopefully, they're older guys. They are friends, or were friends. I'm not sure where they stand at now, but Skip said they're like brothers, and brothers do fight, as Skip said. So we'll see what happens. I hope the best for both parties, but I do hope a little light sparring, jab goes on, verbal jab between the two. I wouldn't mind seeing that. And I'm sure both companies, Undisputed and ESPN, wouldn't mind seeing it for the ratings as well. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.